everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Chris Yee.
Today we're taking a look at a game called Misfit Heroes from Phil Walker Harding, a designer you like a lot. Mm-hmm. AEG, part of their card crafting system line. I saw this on a demo table 2 years ago,
Maybe 2 Gen Cons ago, yeah. And then the Kickstarter ran, it's fulfilled now. But what I've been very curious about for a while.
Yeah, sure. I mean, in this game, you can have a many-limbed baker, a killer alchemist, or a dark scientist, or a dark baker, killer scientist, and many-limbed alchemist. Or put any of those terms in front of the word general, and whatever.
Many-armed general. Yes, sir.
That's the private. The general doesn't salute. Oh, he salutes a couple times, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Let's take a look at it. We'll be right back. When you first get this game, you have this huge deck of cards that you're going to have to build. So this is, you'll have the backing and then the clear one. So this is a blob and this is hoarding. So I put those together and I have a hoarding blob. And here we have a were mermaid. Now, I could switch those two and I could have a were blob, which actually sounds kind of cool. A were blob and a hoarding mermaid, but this will only happen in between games. And so they recommend that you switch them in between games. So there's a couple things I want to mention about this. First of all, you'll notice that there are victory points that they're worth. This is the cost, so this cost will change based on the top and the bottom. So he costs 2, she costs 3, but you can see there is stuff like this. Armored Orc, who's much more expensive at a 10. There's a colored bar on the side. Blue is for humans, red is for creatures, and when they crisscross, then there's a mix for purple. This Berserk Peddler is, I guess, half human, half animal, things like that. And then at the bottom, we have some abilities that are going to go off. So again, they recommend, like, hey, at the beginning of the game, everyone draw 10 cards and switch them around a little bit. But once they're switched, then they don't switch during the game itself. Players are going to put out these tokens here next to the board from the highest to the lowest. Honestly, I don't know why they have you do this. It'd just be easier to have them in a stack, but it doesn't matter. You're trying to get influence. There are 3 types of influence here, the mountains, the green, and the water. You're also going to start with a pile of money and a handful of cards. On your turn, you have one action that you can do of the 4 different actions here. One thing is you can take 10 money. One is you can take any one of these influence here, your choice. Another is you can discard any number of cards from your hand, then draw that many back, plus 2 more cards. And then finally, you can recruit a hero card. Now, recruiting a hero card, you'll be recruiting one from your hand, you pay the money, and then you're going to put it in a grid in front of you. So the first card that you put out doesn't, kind of starts the grid, but your grid is going to become a 4x4 grid as you place cards out. So once I have 4 across, my grid has been set. So as you play cards, you're going to activate them. If you play a card that has a heart on, you activate it immediately. So for example, this one says draw 2 cards, then I gain 2 leaves or 20 money. This one says I get to activate this card twice. Draw 4 cards, everyone else draws 1 card. Woo-hoo-hoo! Other cards have kind of something on them. You have to meet this requirement when you play it here, specific condition. So this is, I have 3 of the purple cards, the Misfit cards in play. Then I get to name one of these and reveal cards from deck, so I reveal that, blah, blah, blah. Here, if I have 3 human cards in play, then name a faction reveal card until I reveal 2 matches, draw them, and discard the rest. This heroic wedding planner. Other cards have a cost to them. So this dirty skeleton, if I want to activate one of my cards in column 4, I get to activate it again. I need to discard a card to do so. While this guy here, the Day's Town Crier, discard one of these influence tokens or 7 coins, then I can choose one. All players draw a card and I gain 30, or all players gain 10 and I draw 3 cards. So when you play them, you'll activate them. If they have costs, you'll play that cost. There are a few cards that are endgame scoring when you play them. Like this at the end of the game will score 2 points for each purple card in this row and column. And this one here will score 2 points for each human card in your largest group of human cards. So I'm playing these cards out in this grid. When someone gets 16 cards in their grid, that's going to end the game. At the end of your turn, no matter what action you picked, if you can discard 6 of the same type of influence, you'll take the largest point token of that type. So I can discard 6 rock and get 12 points, or 6 leaves and get 12 points, 6 water and 12 points, or 2 of each. And then as you take these tokens, they're going to come off the board and Those are points at the end of the game, plus points here, plus points from some of those endgame scoring conditions, plus some points for leftover influence and money. And whoever has the most points is the winner. If there's anything this review tells you, I hope that you realize the game itself is not card crafting, which might not sound like that big of a deal, but it was to me because I was like, ooh, how's the card crafting going to work in this game?
Because every game in the card crafting system so far, it is a gameplay element to combine the things, the clear card or multiple clear cards with the background card. And this one is not that. Set up from the get-go, and you can change it in between game sessions.
Right, and so the idea of that is, there's 8,000 combinations, and you're playing with some of them. You know, there's 8,000 cards, but you have, I don't know how many are in this set here. There's a lot.
We're about to see math live.
No, there's 120. Maybe, no, there's 96. So there's 96
times.
Cards. I'm saying there's 96. There's 96 times 96.
Mm-hmm. Which is
a lot. It's just slightly less than 10,000 because that's 100 times 100.
Yeah.
Actually, it's... Oh, you can actually do that, too.
I knew I'd get him.
It's minus 16. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a squared minus b squared equals c squared. But anyway, the idea of this, though, is that there's almost 10,000 combinations, but you're only playing with 96 of those combinations at most over the course of a game.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine. I'm not even necessarily opposed to that. It just, as a consumer, I would have been really annoyed, I think. It was like a deflating. I was like, oh, okay, let's forget that. But I just want you to know that, too. That way, I feel like I wish they wouldn't have put card crafting system on the box, actually.
Maybe. And from this point on in the review, I can completely compartmentalize that out.
Yeah.
And just review the gameplay, right?
Well, I'm not going to compartmentalize. There's one thing I do want to mention, because it is a card crafting system.
Sure.
I do not think all the cards fit as well on each other as I had hoped. Occasionally, the little pictures don't match. That's not a huge deal, but I also think the art it's very cartoony. It's fine, but sometimes the stuff is funny. Like I just pulled these randomly out of the thing. A dark scientist is very okay.
It works, right? But
the many-limbed baker, that's funny.
That is much funnier, yeah. When you get like the demonic or like the dark real estate agent, and it's just like a guy on his phone, and he's got this like demon stuff coming out the side.
This is a thrifty minotaur.
Yeah.
A middle-aged barbarian. Yeah. Now, I will say that the theme of that disappears almost instantly. I like having the different characters, but I'm looking at their abilities. And I'm not like, ooh, this combo. I'm like, okay, how does this card work? There's the price. There's what it does. And that is what the game is. The game is a game of kind of economics, although they do a really good job. Maybe Chris is much smarter than I am at games. The economics of this game are at, I don't know where they are. I can take 10 gold in a turn, or I can pay 26, 3, 4, 5, 8, 4, 18.
Well, the cards have wild prices, yeah.
And I don't know how those prices correspond to the value of the card. I basically am saying, can I afford playing this card? I'm not trying to think, is this card worth my hard-earned cash?
Right, and it's one of those games where it says you have a max of, is it 55 cash? Everything's kind of like max of...
Oh, no, it's 80. Thank you.
80, yeah.
I'll get back to that point in a second.
Okay. It's a little bit of an odd number to remember, like right now in the middle of review in person, right? It's 8. 8 of everything, 80 coins, and it kind of feels at first like 80 coins? I'm never going to hit that. And then you can end up hitting that. So, yeah, the economics, the cost of things are pretty wild all over the place. I think that to me is the funniest or most interesting part of the card crafting, when you see a card that has like a 9 base cost with a 12 addition cost, and you go, wow, this card effect really better be awesome. And because you see sometimes another card that's like practically free. And you're like, okay, well, it still does some interesting stuff. I might still consider buying that. So I like that variety of the effects, but that's about, I can't say that there's no like kooky combination of two cards that I think really stands out like game effect or gameplay wise.
Yeah, I think my favorite is like double the effect of this card. I'm like, great! But you're right. That's the rule of 8, by the way. It's that you can have 8 cards in hand, 8 influence tokens of each type, which you never will.
Oh my gosh.
That's like I don't even know why it rules in the game, because as soon as you have 6, you buy the token.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, or 80 coins. I just, to me, it's fine. I get why they have that in the game, because you could do an effect and like, I got 40 gold. I'm going to get 40 gold again by playing this other card, and I'm going to get 40 gold again. Like, calm down.
Yeah.
I get that these rules exist, but like I said, I have a hard time figuring out the math of that. Here's what I don't have a hard time figuring out the math with. Our cards, this card is worth a point. This one's worth a point. This one's worth a point. Some of them sometimes are worth 3 or 4 points. These tokens are worth 12. I don't need to be good at math to know that tokens are always better in every situation, even the low-numbered ones.
Yes. One of the actions you can take is to grab one shard or one like token that you can then trade in for the square tokens, the 12, 11, 10 point ones. And you kind of think, well, that sounds lame. I'll never do that. But when you are one action away from getting 12 points versus spending 24 gold to reactivate this, to combo this so that you can play out a card that's worth 1 point, but I'll take a token and then get 10 points next round.
Yeah, that part is the part that doesn't feel particularly balanced to me, because at the end of the game, you're scoring up everything and you score up your grid of cards and you're like, oh, it really mattered who got more of those tokens. I think that is the deciding factor. Probably, maybe if you all get the same amount of tokens, then the cards break the tie.
It feels like that, but it feels like you should be chasing these cards because they do cool things. And yes, you need to activate the cards that give you the shard or the token piece that let you trade in for the 12, 10, 11 point things, right? And that's kind of where the luster of the game fell, or the luster of the game fell for me a little bit. Was realizing if I can get cards that combo each other, reactivate things to get lots of the gray mountain tokens, the green leaf tokens, I'm gonna focus on those ones because that is the point, that is the path to victory.
Yeah, I have a couple of these point scoring cards here, which by the way, they're always very expensive.
Yeah.
And this one is score 2 points for each star card in this row or column. So some of the cards have the stars on, like I showed in the overview. So I could get 6, I could get 12 points total from that card. That's amazing. You won't. You're just, maybe you'll get 1. Like if you build that card and work around it really hard to build stuff. But as time goes by, your thing's going to be built. This one has 2 points for each blue card in this row column, which is a little easier actually. But you may or may not get these done. So you'll score maybe 6 and you'll work really hard at that. It's always better to get the tokens and get the points that way.
It is a disappointment for me, and especially in a world where games like Castle Combo exist and Far Away, other games that I feel like the cards have more of a clever, fun feel to them as you play them out. I play them for effects, but they're also scoring and helping multiply other cards and stuff.
Right.
This one lacks that, even though it presents itself as a game that should kind of be a stronger factor of it, and instead is chase the tokens, which is fine, but then the game does feel a little bit at odds with itself.
I don't hate the game.
I don't dislike it.
Yeah, well, but I got to put it on that. For me, this is a 5.5, where it's almost, to me, saying, it's fine, but there's too many issues with it. Another one, a big issue, which we haven't mentioned for me anyway, is they don't do anything to alleviate player count. More players is more time. And I think the 16 grid, someone has to finish your 16 grid first, in a 4-player game is interminably long. Compared to 2, it's faster, obviously, because you're taking turns faster. Why is a 4-player game not a smaller, a 3x4 grid, maybe, for example? That might not be as fun to play, but I also ding it a bit. I know you were able to put the card crafting thing aside. That bugs me a bit. I like the card crafting idea picture-wise. I like the combo-wise. But there's so many of these cards that when I get them, especially later in the game, I draw cards and I'll be like, oh, this card lets me get some money. This one lets me get cards. I just need those tokens. Oh, this card gives me tokens. This is a good card. Yeah. And at the end of the game, it just feels like it's not as good for me. So I want to like this more than I did. That's really funny that I'm also at a 5.5. It is. Oh, really? Earlier I said I don't dislike it.
It's hard, right? So in a 1 to 10 point scale, 5.5 is literally dead center.
Yeah.
It does several things that are very fun, and I like seeing the combinations of the card effects. I like the general flow of when I'm taking my turns in a two-player game. There's just a few too many obvious issues that we have that I can't really go higher than that, right? Would I play this again? Maybe at 2 players, but I have so many other games I'd rather turn to. And all that being said, it's not a terrible game. It's just the obvious path to victory, I think, kind of sours me on it. So, yeah, 5.5.
Well, there you go, folks. That's Misfit Heroes. I'm Tom.
And I'm Chris.
We'll see you next time. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.